Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. I ended my previous audio presentation related with this line 3 blocks away. Now I will continue explaining from the next paragraph. The author had a strange experience of being in the third level, and also the author had the another strange experience of moving through a tunnel and sometimes reaching to a near a hotel, sometimes reaching near a landmark address where there were towering office buildings. Now let me continue. These things we have read previously in the previous paragraphs. Now I am starting from the next line now. See, it is written, sometimes I think Grand Central, actually Grand Central means the Grand Central Railway Station. Sometimes I think, I means obviously Charlie. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree, pushing out new corridors and staircases like roots. Now, the Grand Central Railway Station has been compared with a big tree. Just like a tree spreads its branches and sub branches, here also the Grand Central Railway Station is evolving. Each and every moment there is innovation. It is remodeling itself. There is some reconstruction every now and then. So that is the reason from outside the place looks very familiar to him. Even he went inside many a times, but each and every time when he goes inside the Grand Central Railway Station, he remains utterly confused. And he bumped into new corridors, staircases, doorways every time. He collides with new doorways, staircases like this. But this place is very much familiar to him. That is the reason he is comparing the Grand Central Railway Station with a big tree that spreads its roots, branches, and sub branches here also. The station is getting remodeled every now and then. Every now and then, whenever he enters the station, inside the station, it seems new to him. And though the place is so familiar to him, yet when he enters inside the Grand Central Railway Station, it seems quite strange to him. So now I am moving on. There's probably a long tunnel that nobody knows about, feeling its way under the city right now on its way to Times Square and maybe another to Central Park. Now, maybe this discovery of the tunnel was made by the narrator Charlie himself, that there is a long tunnel. Maybe the other passengers, they don't know about it. Now, if someone goes through this tunnel, now it moves towards the Times Square, and maybe another time it moves by the Central Park. That means if someone moves or someone goes by this tunnel, then outside, after coming out of the tunnel, he can be, or the passenger can be near Times Square, and maybe some other time near Central Park. So maybe regarding this identity of the tunnel, regarding the location of the tunnel, maybe few people are aware of it, not everyone. And obviously Charlie, the narrator, the main character of this science fictional story, he is well aware of that secret tunnel. And maybe because for so many people through the years means throughout the years, Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape. Very, very important line. So what he's trying to say is that for many people throughout the years, this particular railway station is an exit point. It is an exit point. It is a place where it's where a person can escape. It is actually a junction that is related with escape from reality. This is a place, this is an exit point, this is a place where one can actually escape. Maybe that's how the tunnel I got into, but I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. Now, my discovery of this secret tunnel and the places beyond that, after crossing that, I haven't told my psychiatrist friend about this particular exploration, secret exploration and discovery of the tunnel. I haven't told my psychiatrist friend about this. I only told my psychiatrist friend that I entered the third level mysteriously, but I entered the tunnel and I moved inside the tunnel, and when I came out, sometimes I reach near a hotel, sometimes I reach near Times Square, sometimes I reach near Central Park. This particular tunnel episode I skipped. I never told my psychiatrist friend about it. Now I am moving on to the next paragraph, dear students. The corridor I was in began angling left and slanting downward, and I thought I was wrong, but I kept on walking. Now, as already we know that according to him, this place looks familiar, but whenever he gets inside, this place looks very strange to him. Now he began passing through a corridor. Now he was angling left a bit, he was slanting downward a bit, and while he was passing by, he thought that maybe he entered a wrong place or he entered a wrong region. But I kept on walking. But despite that feeling at the back of his mind, he was walking. He kept on walking. All I could hear was the empty sound of my footsteps, and I didn't pass a soul. Only the sound that was audible to my ears was obviously the sound of my own footsteps, and that there was not a single soul. That means apart from me, there was no one else. Then I heard that sort of hollow roar ahead. That means open space and people talking. Then after moving for a certain, after crossing a certain distance, after walking through a certain distance, to be very precise, then I found that some people, they are talking among themselves. There is a open space also. The tunnel turned sharp left. I went down a short flight of stairs and came out on the third level at Grand Central Station. And then the narrator, the main character, he went on turning a bit sharp left direction. Then he passed by some flight of stairs, and then he came out on the third level, and he was standing on the third level of the Grand Central Station. Now this place is unique. This place is very strange according to him. Now he will have some strange experience right here. For just a moment, I thought I was back on the second level, but I saw the room was smaller. There were fewer ticket windows and train gates, and the information booth in the center was wood and old looking. Now, for a time being, he had this particular thought at the back of his mind that maybe again, because this Grand Central Railway Station inside is very confusing to him, we get to know from by now. So he thought that maybe again he came to the second level, but no. When he actually looked very closely in this place, when he looked all around him, he found that no, this place is totally different from what I expected it to be. This is a unique place of its own because there are some changes. It looks a bit old. It looks a bit primitive. It is not so much sophisticated as he expected it to be, because we get information here only that the room was smaller. Actually, the entire room was a bit smaller compared to the other levels of the Grand Central Railway Station. This room was slightly smaller. There were fewer ticket windows and train gates, and the information booth in the center was wood and old looking. The information booth, it was very odd, very old looking. It was made of wood. That means this place is not only unique, this place is very old also, a bit primitive also. And the man in the booth wore a green eye shade and long black sleeve protectors. The lights were dim and sort of flickering. Even the gas lights, those things are very dim and it's flickering also. Then I saw why. They were open flame gas lights. Actually, now I realize that why the lights are flickering, because the lights are flickering because they are open flame gas lights. That means maybe he came to a time zone which is entirely different from his own time zone. It's like a mysterious time travel on the part of the narrator. There were brass pitons on the floor, and across the station a glint. A glint means you can say a spark or a glimpse or a ray. A glint of light caught my eye. A man was pulling a gold watch from his vest pocket. A man was actually pulling a watch from his vest pocket. He snapped open the cover, glanced at his watch and frowned. Frown actually means when someone is very annoyed, someone is very disturbed. We use the term frown. He wore a derby hat, a black 4-button suit with tiny lapels. Lapels means buttons, you can say. And he had a big black handlebar mustache. Even his dress, his appearance, his costume, then the size of his mustache, the handlebar mustache, all this suggests that maybe it is the late 18th century that we will get to know. The author himself told us that maybe probably he reached a place where the time zone is 1890. It is written. So everything looks odd, everything looks a bit primitive and old, and most importantly, everything looks strange to him. Then I looked around and saw that everyone in the station was dressed like 1890 something. I told you, dear students. Now he found that not only this person with a handlebar mustache and a costume, it seems that everyone has dressed up, their way of moving, their body language. It seems that he came to a time zone that is in 1890, something very different from his own time zone. So it's a mysterious time travel, as I already told you, dear students. I never saw so many beards, sideburns and fancy mustaches in my life. Now, what he is trying to say that he haven't seen so many people with so many beards, fancy mustaches and all this. A woman walked in through the train gate. She wore a dress with leg of mutton sleeves and skirts at the top of her high button shoes. Now, a woman entered. Her dress was very much different from the dresses that he encounters actually. It's long sleeves. She was wearing a gown, long gown, or we can say long sleeved gown. And this is totally different. Back of her, out on the tracks, I caught a glimpse of a locomotive, maybe a garage or a locomotive, a very small Courier and Ives locomotive with a funnel shaped stalk. And then I knew. Now, just at a distance from this particular station, I saw a garage or a locomotive and a very small Courier and Ives locomotive. That is the name of that locomotive. It's a very small locomotive store with a funnel shaped stack. Even the design of this locomotive is something quite old in its designing and all those things. Then when he encountered all these things, when he saw the people, their dress up, their style of keeping beards and handlebar mustaches and mustaches of different shapes and sizes, when he found that the woman is wearing long sleeved gowns, and when he found that there is a distant locomotive which is very small, a glint of ray of light coming from there, then he was very much sure that he is in a different time zone. He had underwent a mysterious sort of a time travel experience, and he is going through that time travel experience right now. So dear students, I stop here in this audio presentation. I did up to this and then I knew. In my next audio presentation, I will continue from the next paragraph. Please listen to this audio presentation, and if there is any doubt anywhere, please kindly let me know. Thank you, students. Thank you all.